in the previous show, I mentioned that attention, time, and money are very important concepts when dealing with businesses and just relationships and also ourselves. This is something that might sound like obvious. So that being said, it's easier for us to relate with a lot of these concepts. So first, I'd like us to look at attention. So what is attention? And what are the senses that we use? I know there's like 5 senses, but sometimes you can also have like a 6th sense of attention. So yeah, how do we explore attention according to the senses that we have, and using those senses to convey engagement with people and really add value to our interactions. So starting off with number 1, eyesight. How do we use our eyesight to convey attention? From here it's actually easy to how do we use our eyesight to convey attention? That is an eye. So definitely the main way we actually give attention through our eyes is looking at something. So directly looking at something shows that like I'm actively looking at things, because we only have 2 eyes, and more than likely, and this, you have one of those like special talents where you can like look at 2 things at once. Most of us look at one thing with both eyes, which is like double impact, that you've got 2 eyes from one person looking at a certain thing, focusing. So giving people direct eye contact is one way we can actually show our attention, give them our attention. And I know what you mean. It was like, yeah, I look at things all the time, you know, like I'm looking at my phone right now. So of course, eye contact is the way we best give our attention. So that being said, it's pretty much a slippery slope when it comes to eye contact in a normal context outside of like being on a phone, because some people don't like to get gawked at. You know, for instance, when I'm with my girl, she really doesn't like it when I look at her for like the whole time when I'm talking to her. So she feels a bit intimidated. I think it's because I've got a bit of an intense gaze. So her, like other people, prefer it like when you look at them to validate them, but not looking at them the whole time. Like, you know, or maybe not even really, like looking at them. I don't know. Maybe they don't really like to be looked at as much. So yeah, some people that don't really value eye contact as much, but others really need you to be looking at them to feel like you are, present with what they're saying. So, yeah, for instance, if I'm chatting with a friend and he's going on about, how he just really loves the new update on, Sigma. So when he's telling me, the whole Sigma 6, how that works, I might be, tempted to maybe look at my phone and look at something else that's going on. So depending on how he feels about eye contact, he might actually feel like I'm not engaged with the conversation. So then he might try to demonstrate some things to get my attention in a way, subconsciously. But maybe if I was like looking at him, then he would then feel heard, and I think he would also express himself a lot better. So that's why, for me, I find it very important to look at people, and yeah, as well as my girl, like I look at her, and like that's just how I show my affection in another way. It's eye contact. Sometimes it can get intense, so it is important to like maybe if you're not having a staring competition, just to like look, keep it natural, look at something else. Like there's other stuff going on. So, but always sort of come back and anchor to whoever's like the main person that you're engaging with. If there's something that is being discussed, or there's a moment that you're intentionally cultivating. So yeah, that being said, eye contact is amazing. It's amazing to be looked at. It's something else, right? I'm talking about looking at people, but now to be looked at, and imagine to be looked at by like a lot of people. Like a lot of people could be looking at this video, but a lot of people like in real life looking at you at once sometimes creates what we know as the spotlight effect. And we know how that can go. It creates a lot of pressure. I've been at a lot of instances where I had to make addresses to over 100 people. Some went better than others. That's all I can say. Actually, I will say a bit more. So usually, if I'm preparing something that's not really got me as the main subject of attention, like if I'm selling a product, usually I would go to big meetings, like meetings at residences at different campuses when I was doing my undergrad, and I would get in there, speak very well, answer questions, when selling a product. Now, I could handle that, when something else, when having a buffer between myself and the people, which is the product or the service. So, there's times when me being up there, it's like, there's one time when I was actually running for like the student council to meet the president, and that put me under immense amounts of pressure, because it felt like I was selling myself, and there was like so much pressure on me, just to say the right thing, and yeah, it was fucking terrible. And it's like all of the zeal was just somewhere else at the time. So it depends. I think you really have to be very truthful and confident about what it is that saying and feeling to be able to, speak in front of a lot of different audiences. Because, it's like, it's very intense. It's very intense. So the thing that's very grounding a lot of the time when you speak is you being comfortable with yourself and your relationship to what it is that you are projecting. Speak your truth. That's what I can say, and that will take you through any 1,000 amount of people that are looking at you, or millions, depending on what branch of office you occupy. So that is eye contact. Eye contact, I demonstrated it in a one-to-one, intimate scenario, relationship with a boy, relationship with a girl, relationship with a group of people. So, and of course, it really should be mentioned that also eye contact with videos, when doing videos, is, I think, very much paramount, because then, and especially in this one-to-one thing, I don't know, but when you're having a conversation maybe with two different people on a channel, for instance, then you might see that, okay, it's better to look at the person you're having a conversation with and not the camera. I think that's what they preach. But it just conveys a lot, because even looking at, the camera, it creates this sort of intensity. So when you're not looking at the camera, it's very casual. So that can be said about eye contact. And sometimes your eyes, when you walk into a room, are all that you have to really say about you. Like, I remember being in a crowded room full of people, and it's a rave going on. It's just people are having the time of their lives. So me walking in the room and approaching a group of a couple of people, and maybe identify a girl that I am interested in, or maybe she's interested in me. There were different times that the roles were reversed. Ultimately, it leads to a mutual attraction. So, eye contact was sometimes one of those things that we would use to sort of show each other that, hey, I'm going to give you, the look kind of thing, that it's cool to approach, sort of, give you a bit of puppy dog eyes. How sometimes you with the girl, she gives you those puppy dog eyes. It's sort of just to be a bit more vulnerable, to be a bit more inviting into your space. High on life. So, those different levels of eye contact, in different scenarios. And there's been instances where I've been, maybe having an altercation with a dude, and, I would give him that look, kind of very confrontational. And sometimes that confrontational, it's also inviting, but it's just inviting to a different degree. So you can use that confrontational look, with whoever, like girls or guys, but it's also just like inviting. But it's just inviting in a different way, as opposed to the puppy dog eyes, which is very like submissive. I'm sure if you have a puppy, you can see, you just look at those eyes. Well, she's actually not a puppy, she's a full grown. So, yeah, Max. The different types of like whether you're gonna do puppy dog or like the super standoffish kind of thing depends, I guess, on if you're being like dominant or submissive in that scenario. But yeah, and it also probably depends on what the outcome, what you intend the outcome of the situation to be. So yeah, it's not so black and white, but just bear in mind what kind of attention you're trying to create for yourself when creating, the mood with your eye contact. Definitely blink, because sometimes if you blink, it can just let people know that, hey, I'm a normal guy, and I'm pretty relaxed. I think blinking is like pretty relaxing, but blinking is also like a fine line, because I don't know what blinking too much means. I don't know what it means, but sometimes you just have to like be careful or be mindful. Maybe something you can't really, control, but maybe just be aware of how much you're blinking in a situation. So yeah, apart from blinking, you've got what? You got side eyes and stuff like that. I didn't really give people the side eye. But yeah, that's also pretty intimidating. Side eyes. Yeah, I'm more like, if I'm looking at something over there, I'll probably like turn towards it. So I think maybe the side eye you use when you're just trying to create a bit of like, just being aware like of what it is, but like, and you're just checking your surroundings. Yeah. So that's another thing that you probably just bear in mind, is sometimes you just want to check your surroundings, when you're, especially in public, you want to just use your eye contact to stay alert, at all times. So yeah, that's probably what my girl was also like kind of hoping for, that I would just be aware of like other things, So yeah, and then where to look at, because you've got, especially when you're dealing with people, it's like you don't want to look down, because it sort of like signifies like a submissive kind of thing. Since we spoke about the side eye, which is like sort of you giving a bit of your attention to it, but not really. But like, yeah, you looking at something and looking down sort of signifies that you are not really paying much respect, or maybe you're paying too much respect to it. Maybe you don't want to look at it. Maybe you're feeling like it's a bit too intense. Or maybe you're getting that, intense look, and then you want to like submit in terms of polarity. But yeah, if you're watching this video, I wouldn't recommend that you look down at all, ever, unless you're looking at very nice, something that you're about to get into, like maybe you're looking out to get into doggy style kind of thing. But other than that, you wanna sometimes if you are dealing with somebody that's shorter than you, you might look down. So, I don't know. If you guys are dealing with shorties, like, that is your situation. How you maneuver around that is your biggest task. And just let me know how that dynamic works. I recommend looking in front of you, and you don't even necessarily have to look up as well. I think looking up can sometimes also sort of be like you rolling your eyes sort of thing, so I'd say just like maintain a steady gaze right in front of you, and just work with it, kind of thing. If you're dealing with somebody who's maybe shorter than you or taller than you, just level up the playing field in a non-obvious way. If that means like you need to get them to sit down, or you guys need to sit down together, or you might want to be on a bit of like an incline, so you can be standing higher than them, but still at the same level without making it too obvious. For those that have a bit of styling in them, you can stand on a crate. So, wow, that is really as much as I'm prepared to go in so far as like the depth of eye contact for now, because it can get really really deep. I will add this as well, is when you open your eyes, it sort of looks like you're fascinated with what it is that you're looking at, or you're talking about. You just look like you're in wonder. It's wonderfulness when you open your eyes. Or like it's a surprise. I remember I was talking to somebody, and she just had like her eyes like very peeled back, like very attentive. I think opening your eyes signifies like a level of like attentiveness, but more like full of like looking at what's in front of you, kind of thing in an open way, and then peering your eyes, like closing them in a way, sort of. It's like you want to focus, but why are you focusing like that? I wouldn't advise it. I don't do it too often. I think, just keeping your brow sort of relaxed can also help you, process things a lot quicker, because how you furrow or relax doesn't determine what you're looking at, because your eyes are like the same kind of thing. Your pupils might dilate, but your pupils dilate because of other factors, because of what you're looking at, not because of like you frowning or what. So I'd say for us, wanting to just maintain nice foreheads, because my forehead is magnificent. So just keep a relaxed gaze on whatever it is that you're looking at, I think, at all times. And that is the little, ribbon at the end, just to tie it all in. And that is the presence of presence